Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, the fabulous Beatrice.
Hi.
We are here for the conclusion
Finally
of Sister Wives Season 19. We're going to be recapping the 4th out of 4 of the tell-alls.
I'm going astral.
Oh my God. I am so over it.
I'm so over it.
I can't even articulate how over it I
Same.
am. But we're going to have a little fun and see these Browns off. But before we do, we have to issue you a disclaimer, please. Hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast, which simply means that we say some bad words.
Yep.
We have stupid opinions.
Objectively.
Sometimes we're vulgar.
Yeah.
Well, she is. And so if you're sensitive,
Beat it.
you might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you're down to finish
oh my God.
this shiznit, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you're down with what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/realitytvcringe. We're continuing our coverage of season 2 of The Valley over there. And it is crazy.
It is crazy, and it's a lot of fun so far.
Yes.
We still have several episodes to get through in order to catch up, so we're totally into it. Definitely join us. If you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe, since every single thing you do helps us to scale the mountain towards 6,000 subscribers.
We're at 5.3 now.
We're at Base Camp 2.
Yep.
Base Camp 2, and I'm excited. I'm acclimating.
Me too.
So thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Now, I just have to warn everybody, my energy is a little low tonight because my husband,
Her freaking husband.
who I love, don't get me wrong,
We love him.
very much. He traveled yet again.
Yep.
He got his big old Texas body on a plane, went to Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and the day before he comes home, he texts me yet again.
Every time.
I'm getting sick.
Every time. Every time he travels.
Literally every time.
It's always at the end of his trip.
Yep.
He'll message you late at night. I'm getting sick.
I know. And then he brings that crud home to me. And then within 4 days or whatever,
I'm
sick. Getting sick. And so I'm starting to get sick.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm just over it with Sister Wives. I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of
so
it.
sick of it.
I'm so
And so if I'm a little weird or if I just don't give a that is why. Because I ain't got nothing for these people. Nothing.
over it. Nothing.
Any takeaway from you after watching the final tell-all, my friend?
I mean, I got 2 takeaways.
Okay.
One, I'm also over it.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of it. After this tell-all, I'm like, I don't remember anything. I don't know what y'all are saying. I don't care what y'all are saying.
Nope.
My second takeaway is that it's too much Cody and Robin.
Yeah.
Like, so many clips of Cody and Robin.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care about these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about your dumb love story.
Your sex before marriage.
Your lightning
ew.
bolts and your pussies. I
Ugh.
don't care about that. I don't give a shit.
I know.
So
Nobody does.
No.
That's your thought?
Yeah.
I think we all agree. I think we can co-sign on that one. My thought is just I need a break. I think I just need a break. I think next week, if we could just take a week off.
Sounds great.
Before we dive right back into rewinds. And I know Welcome to Plathville is coming back. When is that again? July
something. July 18th, 20th or something.
I thought it was like in the beginning of July.
Know.
I don't
Sometime
know.
in July.
Like we're still commiserating as to whether we're going to watch that. So before we start watching anything new and covering the old stuff too, like I just need a week.
Yeah.
To take a break.
Yeah.
To get in a coffin with some of those little brown kids and just have a moment to myself in the dark. That is what I need.
I think that's fair.
Okay. And so next week we are not going to be here, but we're going to be continuing to put content up on our Patreon.
Yep.
So if you still want to hear from us, even though we take a 1 week break after this week, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon.
Please and thank you.
All right, well, take it away for this final recap of season 19, episode 29.
29.
Wow.
Absolutely insane. Way too long for a season, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But we start off wrapping up the conversation from last week about the freaking luggage rack.
Who cares?
And Robin getting her needs met, aka her box et. And then we talk about Cody and his obsession with appearances and people looking good.
Who cares?
Which we talked about a lot.
We had already talked about this to death.
I mean,
to my death in a coffin, I'm dead.
Like, we're talking about the camping story again and showing the clip of Christine in the U-Haul with David talking about the camping story.
Which we had already seen.
I know.
First of all, we saw it the first time they aired it.
I know.
And then we saw it the second time during the tell-all. They already played it.
Yeah.
And now we got to watch it again.
Yeah, and now we have to talk about it again, about how Cody is self-centered and he only cares about appearances. Yes, we know.
Yeah, duh.
Yes, we know.
Tell me something I haven't heard yet.
The only thing that was interesting about this was that Robin, with her hard jaw, is denying the camping story, even though it's literally on film.
Doesn't she know that it's on film?
No,
Doesn't
I don't
she
recall.
know that Hunter was getting upset because nobody was helping? Doesn't she know that there is footage of her putting on her beat makeup and getting herself together out in Big Bear or whatever?
I don't recall.
Gosh.
I don't recall. I remember pitching in.
I'm sure I pitched in, though. I cooked or something.
I took turns cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I did my fair share. They're just poking fun at me.
That's not true, she says.
Yes.
When it's on film.
I'm just like, why aren't we calling her out for that?
Like, what would it cost you, production, to just roll the tape? I'm just wondering. Just roll the damn tape.
They show it in the clip. Like, they show, like, a montage to us. I don't think they showed it to them.
Watch the clip?
She won't.
So maybe Suki could have said something like, well, if you had watched the clip that we just showed you, you would have saw yourself putting the makeup on.
She would have just said some shit like, oh, they edited it. They edited it out. I was actually helping. Like, she probably would have just made it up. I'm just like, Robin.
Lies on lies on lies on lies.
I mean, would it kill you to tell the truth once in your life?
She doesn't know how to.
No,
the truth
she doesn't.
is not in her.
No, not at all. And then we have David on the couch for some reason talking about polygamy. Talking about how it's all about control, how he apparently dated other ex-polygamous women and the men just completely ruined them. But thank God for Christine.
A diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an iffy commentary about women in general.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he does have family members, sisters specifically, who are in or were in polygamy. So he did have some observations. But, yeah, it sucks. Polygamy is terrible to women. Yep. Polygamy is terrible for children. And he knows it, and he's seen it firsthand.
I would like to hear those comments from the women, though. You know what I mean? Like, David's the one that's articulating it. But I'm like, Christine... Like you have said a million times on our episodes, like Christine was the one championing polygamy and advocating for it in these earlier seasons. Like, it'd be cool if she just said, yeah, I realize that polygamy is actually fucking bad for women.
Yeah.
And not empowering at all and really awful.
That's a really good point because we do see Christine advocating for herself and calling things out in the relationship with Cody and within the family structure. But like she's really not commenting a lot on polygamy in general or the religion in general, even though she has left it. I don't know if she believes anymore. I don't know what the status of her faith is. It would be great if we could get something from her on that. But no. But alas, nothing for us raccoons in the dubs.
Nothing at all for our faithful fans of this freaking show.
Maybe it'll be in her book, which we're going to have to buy for $34 given inflation.
That's not even written by her.
I know. It's totally AI. Chat GPT.
Seriously.
Bitch.
And then we talk about Cody putting himself first, like we didn't already know that. And we have Mary defending the fact that Cody
I hate her so much.
himself first.
I'm ending the season hating Mary again.
I know.
Like, God, Mary, I thought you were worthying up.
No.
I thought you were trying to show up for women. I thought you were doing some motivational speaking for women to encourage them to better their lives. And this is what you're giving us?
Yep.
Well, yeah, of course he puts himself first, but so do I.
Yeah.
So does everybody every once in a while. Oh my God, miss me with that.
She feels like...
She's the worst.
It kind of feels like she thinks that she's being so profound by saying that. Like, no, I see all sides of it.
Yeah, I'm so diplomatic.
Everyone can be kind of selfish sometimes. It's like, no, that's not what we're saying.
Right.
We're saying that Cody objectively always puts himself first.
Yeah, and was, as a matter of fact, abusive to his wives.
Yeah.
At least on television, we saw him be verbally and emotionally abusive to his wives and to his children.
Hello.
And so if you want to be some sort of paragon of values and what women should be doing in terms of advocating for themselves, then call the crap out.
Honestly, it's
but
so
she can't
annoying.
do it, which is why I don't trust her.
Me neither.
And that she's worthied up. I don't think so.
Talk about trusting. How she said last episode, I don't know who to trust. I can't trust you, Mary.
Nobody can trust her.
God.
Nobody can trust her.
And then we have Christine saying that she was never really respected from Cody, or by Cody, as a wife, as a mother, as a person. And Cody was calling her a shitter wife instead of sister wife. A shitter wife? That's crazy.
Was that a joke?
I don't think
or
so.
Or was he walking around calling them shitter wives?
It's kind of funny, but
That's
terrible at
funny.
the same
It is
time.
awful. Very bad. But do we think that back in the day, like during Lehigh and certainly in the beginning when they moved to Vegas, that Cody really didn't value her for being a mom and taking care of all of his whole mess of kids?
It's hard to say because I feel like if Cody was the same person that we see now back then, even slightly, I could see him not really respecting her. But like at the same time, I wonder if Christine's just painting it bad because like their whole marriage was bad. Maybe that's the case. But at the same time, Christine was the basement wife. So maybe she wasn't really respected because she was the one stuck in the basement and forced to like take care of all of the kids and homeschool them and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it kind of hard to believe that he never valued her or that he never like worked for the family and worked to please his wives. I think once Robin entered the scene, that is when everything shifted. And that is when things got bad in all of the marriages, well, except for Robin's.
Yeah, agreed. And then the last part of this section was Cody talking about how he was mean to the OG wives only as a reaction to them being mean to him.
I could not believe
I was counterpunching.
He was saying that. Like that it was reactive abuse.
Yeah.
Like I'm being abused by these women who are trashing me on TV. And so of course I'm going to react to that. No, you're the one who did the knife in the kidneys.
Yeah.
Christine is sitting there, peaceable, saying nothing, and you're the one screaming.
Yep.
We saw all of those meetings you had with her at the big Mormon conference table negotiating your divorce. She was eminently respectful.
Yep.
She didn't ask for hardly anything but what she put into her own house in order to leave. Like, what are you talking about? The only person who started the campaign against the wives and the kids, who you called assholes, by the way. Cody, you called your sons assholes, and you've called out Maddie. That's you.
Yep.
None of that was reactive. I just couldn't believe it. And I think Robin said something somewhere in this episode as well, like that her family was taken from her.
Yes.
I'm like,
that the family in the dream
was taken from you. No, you destroyed it.
Yeah.
You had a hand in dismantling it. But the language that they use to describe what's happened when we've all seen it is just so wild and disturbing to me.
Oh, they're like straight up delusional. Like when he's saying this, I'm like, are you for real right now? Like that's how you perceive this situation? Like, are we going to forget about the fact that you told Christine that she was repulsive when she ate nachos and that you were never physically attracted to her and that you didn't want to have any intimacy with her whatsoever? But that's not mean. That's just you telling her the truth that you're going to cut off an intimate marriage with her and then she leaves you. And that's mean. So now it justifies you screaming at her and saying all this bullshit for the last couple seasons. And I think Robin said at some point, like, you know, I feel like really bad because the world only gets to see this one version of Cody, which is this mean version. And it's the worst version of him, you know, but he's actually like a good guy though.
Right.
I'm like, okay, miss me with that.
Well, I think she was trying to say that for the last 3 to 4 years specifically, like this version of Cody has been like who people have been seeing, but that's not who he is. Like he's the Cody from way back in the day. And he's now emerging from his angry season, his manosphere hate, and he's starting to be happy again. So, but I'm just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever.
He's always been problematic.
100%. And I feel like somebody talked to him. I feel like somebody in production talked to him about how he came off the last couple seasons, was like, dude, they pulled a Scandival and like, hey, we have to rehab your image a little bit.
Right.
Let's kind of turn the tide so that way people stop hating you because you're actually insane. But I don't know. I just couldn't believe he said that. I was only mean because they were mean. to be first.
And Janelle is the Ariana Madix in this scenario because she's just like, I just don't care. Like, at all. I'm just going to walk out in this entire situation. I'm not going to comment on it. Like, whatever they can do, whatever they want to do. I'm over here living my best life with my farm on farmersonly.com or whatever. And I'm good.
Yes.
And I'm a sexual earth mama.
Girl.
I'm a Taurus. Has she been watching us?
I feel like
she been watching
I kind of felt like it.
And we have been out here saying that she does give some sensual seduction. She's got that Taurus sensuality governed by Venus. Honey. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I get what she was putting down.
I loved that. She's like, I'm a Taurus. I'm an earth mama. I love everything earthy. Food, wine, sex. I'm like, yes, girl.
Tell me more.
Oh, my God. Find yourself a real man.
Yes.
Get your back blown out.
And she's talking about watching her kids who are married and the relationships that they have and how the husbands, and she must be referring to Caleb, how Caleb dotes on Maddie and how they're so connected. And she's like, maybe I'm ready for a relationship like that.
I would love to see that.
Me too.
I would love to see Janelle's dating journey instead of talking about Cody and Robin and when they first met, because that's the next clip that we get to, where we go to that stupid date in the attic of Josephine's Bistro.
Right.
And Cody and Robin are recounting their love story and the lightning bolts that they felt in both of their pussies. And how they just fell for each other instantly. Cody starts crying watching the clip back.
I hate him so much.
I feel like
his
he does that.
Performative emotions.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was just like, I feel like he does that just so maybe we think that he's a human being.
Right.
With feelings.
I think so.
And I'm like, I don't. I don't think of you as a human being. I think you're a demon-possessed, balding, saggy ball sack.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Latent homosexual.
Maybe. Probably.
Allegedly.
When we talk about, because he referred to it as his sexuality. I don't want to talk about my sexuality. Ain't nobody talking about your sexuality. We were talking about your sexual experiences.
I caught that.
You're the one who said you had them. And when he comes back the next day, I guess, presumably to talk to Suki, it was all of a sudden about his sexuality. And it was a dangerous, unsafe topic to discuss. I'm like, why is this so unsafe?
Why is it so unsafe? Because you had a homosexual experience
They
in
did
college?
say that they thought, his high school friends thought he was not just gay, flamboyantly gay. Flamboyantly gay in high school.
That means Robin probably pegs him. Like I've been saying. I feel like...
And there's no shame in that.
No,
and if they like that, I love that.
That's
for
great,
them.
I guess.
But yeah, I was just like, ooh, that was an interesting turn of phrase.
I saw that. I was like,
Did you pick up on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, you gay.
Yeah.
And we've had several people comment on YouTube saying the same thing, that they think Cody's gay.
A little gay.
I mean,
a little bit around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, bisexual.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bi-curious.
Sure.
I don't know, but he talks about in this clip at Josephine's Bistro.
Back to
how
that.
he told Robin, like within a month of dating, about his college gay sex experience because she was so trustworthy, and she what did he say? Laid him down in a rose garden of trust.
I hate him. I immediately started drawing up merch on our Canva. Did you see it?
I saw it.
It's a big fat raccoon laying in a rose garden, and it's the rose garden of trash. Like, we need that shirt. I hate him so much.
For real.
Yeah. So I just thought that he was being so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think Janelle addresses it in this episode when she talks about how extra he's being. Why? Like, what's he getting out of talking about these subjects? Like, previously, he never wanted to talk about sex. He never wanted to talk about money. But here he is talking about both of these things. And for what reason? To show us just how much he loves Robin. And how real their union is. Therefore, maybe validating why he threw his entire rest of his family away.
Yep.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, 100%. I think Janelle is clocking him. Every time she makes a comment, I feel like she's right on the nose. Because I think she said something like, he says all of this shit about how Robin was safe and how the OG3 were not safe and he couldn't be vulnerable with them because they were so unsafe, and how it was all bullshit that he's just making up because he's just trying to justify all the reasons why Robin is so perfect. And I thought that was kind of an interesting like phrase, because maybe Cody doesn't think Robin's like super perfect, but she's the only one that's left.
I don't know. I'm conflicted on that because I do think he is 100% sprung for her.
Yeah.
I think he is in love with her, but I don't necessarily buy into their meet cute and how that went down. And furthermore, like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I could have swore in season 1, which we have covered in our rewind, like Mary was the one who said, and like Cody and Mary talked about the fact that Mary introduced Robin to Cody and that they were friends. And I thought that was established. And now we have Mary saying, I never introduced them.
Yeah. And she's like, people are just making that up in the Twitter sphere. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Absolutely not.
I feel like you've talked about
that.
it. Yeah. Well, and it's like the way that they're recounting it is so weird. So, like, Cody talks about his lightning bolt in his pussy when he saw Robin at church, but they didn't actually meet. They just saw each other from like opposite sides of the room, and then
he stared at her like in a trance
with a heart on,
like just watching her, a little noodle on, just watching her, and she was looking at him, and then she had to look away because he was being a pred,
right?
And that was scary
because he was weird.
And so they didn't actually talk. But that's when apparently Robin got her lightning bolt, and clearly Cody got his, but it wasn't until some other time when him and Mary were in a car and they were on the side of the road or something like that. Robin and her cousin's husband or something.
Something like that. But then they said that they met at a dance.
Well, I mean, but they were talking on the side of the road, and Cody's like, I didn't really speak to her because I was a little bit embarrassed because I completely was in a trance because of her beauty. I was dissociating. I was in the 5th dimension with Jesus and Buddha because of the beauty of it all. So I didn't say anything. And then at some other point, there was a church dance
that they all went to.
Is anybody else curious? Like, what kind of music they're listening to?
Oh my gosh.
At a Mormon church dance?
Mormon hymns.
No. Do Mormons have hymns? Of course.
Yeah, well, yeah, duh.
Okay, but like, really, what kind of music?
I don't know.
Because then he goes on to like quote The Dance by Garth Brooks at some point. Like, maybe it was country music. That. I was just trying to envision it. It was very strange.
The Kids Bop version of Garth Brooks' song.
But like, also, didn't Cody say at one point, like, Robin actually gave him the ick because she was married?
Oh, yeah.
And had divorced, and like he was not interested in the least.
That was like a red flag or something.
Yeah, I thought he said she had the ick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so now what about what you said all those seasons ago? Is all of that just a lie, or are you lying now? Make it make sense.
I mean, all of it, I think, is a lie. Because they, like Christine said, they were so in love, they had to hide it. So what else were they hiding? And then they had this long courtship of a year, which Janelle comments on. And this is where she says, we've seen it already in the previews, that if she had a year-long courtship with Cody, she probably wouldn't have married him. And that a married man having a year-long courtship is not necessarily appropriate, but they still did it anyway. And Christine even makes the assumption like, well, what else were they doing? He was very comfortable at her house, even in her bedroom. And so maybe they fucked before marriage. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what Christine said.
So where do we land with that? Do we think that they were sexually intimate before they actually had the ceremony?
Yes.
Because when they pan to Robin and Suki has the nerve to ask her whether she had sex before marriage with Cody, Robin's like, absolutely not. I mean, all we did was church kiss. Whatever. There was nothing there.
She's such a liar.
I don't know. She seemed kind of convincing to me. Like, she was so taken aback that anybody would ever question that. But then I go back through the Rolodex of my mind to season 1 during the wedding where she and Cody pick out the wedding dress and pretend that she's going to go shopping with the other wives, and everything is a lie.
Yep.
So
I think she was lying.
Yeah, and her engagement photo with Cody, like, she's got that pussy right up against that neck.
She do.
Pressed into the neck of that man. As if they were acquainted one with the other.
Yeah, and Christine says that too. She's like, they were awfully comfy in their engagement photos. So yeah, I think Robin has just been saying that lie for the last 12, 15 years that they've been together. So I think she's good at lying it, but they 100% were fucking before marriage.
Right. And this is where Christine, I think, is right and is very believable when she's like, they had to hide it. And she has said in the past during these tell-alls that, Cody, I think, fell in love. Yeah. And did not really know what that felt like until he met Robin. But because they were in the family that they were in, and now they had a television show on top of that, they had to hide it. But that's a lie. Yep. And you didn't tell the truth about the scope and the scale of your feelings. And you led me on. And then you turned off the intimacy. And you didn't respect the things that I was bringing into the family. And that's a lie. So it's just betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. But
exactly.
Cody and Robin cannot not just acknowledge that, they can't even admit that.
No.
They can't even approach admitting to that.
No, and in fact, Cody talks about all of this stuff we're saying as just being internet BS. That everybody's saying that we had the intentions of only being together is just a bunch of drama. There was no real intent to do that or just to be with each other, but we fell in love. And then he goes on to say that polygamy doesn't work if you actually fall in love. And he fell in love hard. And so it's like he's admitting it without really admitting it. And that's what's so annoying about him. Like, why can't you just say that you fell out of love the second you met Robin with all the other wives? You could have released them back then, but you wanted the money, you wanted the show, you wanted the big houses in the cul-de-sac. And I guess you tried to make it work, but like you didn't.
No, and he can't admit that it was Robin that changed everything. And so this is why he says something like, well, with Mary, it did start off as a love match and a love connection, and it was very sweet and romantic, but it died by like 1,000 paper cuts or whatever he said. Like
something like that.
Again, shifting the blame back onto them, but really he's blaming Mary and their behavior for the reason that their marriage didn't work and not Robin. And that's where he needs to be honest and truthful. And honestly, I wouldn't care. Like if you just came out and said, yeah, it was a thunderbolt right in my pussy, and I could not even consider my other wives the same anymore. Like everything changed on that day. Like if you could admit that, I could accept that. And I think the other women and the kids could accept that.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that you just lie over and over and over again. And you have the temerity to do so while there is a visual record of you doing the things you said you didn't do. It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy making. It's like gaslighting all of us.
Yes, 100%. Same thing with Robin. It's like, why don't you just say it? Why don't you just say that you knew you had him 99% of the time and that you understand why the other women felt like they were abandoned? Like you just don't care. You only care about your money.
Do you think like that would make you look worse than what you're doing in order to cover up the fact that he was with you all the time, which everybody already knows?
Right.
Like
that's the thing.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's like, I don't understand how they think. Like, I wonder if they actually believe all of the lies that they're saying. If they're like so in denial about the fact that they just fell in love with each other. You think they're just lying?
I think they know that they're lying, yes.
Then what?
And nobody's stopping them. And that's the thing. They can do that with impunity. Nobody's rolling the tapes. Sukiana's not calling them out. Sukiana hasn't even watched the seasons.
Right.
She didn't even know that Cody was a wrestler or like what kind of athletics he did. Like there's a lot of things that she just doesn't know in the canon of Sister Wives. And so she can't retort with something salient and say, well, what about this?
Right.
And what about that? And so nobody ever does. And you even hear him at the end of this episode telling everybody to turn off the cameras, cut the cameras.
I know.
So is he in charge of production? Why is production just doing what the fuck Cody's telling them to do? Why doesn't anybody push back? Because I'm telling you right now, this is all he has.
Yeah.
Sister Wives is all Cody and Robin have.
For sure.
And so you could absolutely push back. Why aren't we doing that? I thought we got a new production house or like a new person in charge of the production house. So like, where's the change? Why are we continuing to coddle this man? And he was triggering me, Beatrice, with the way he was looking at Sukiana.
Oh, I know.
There was something about it that reminded me of my abusive father. Just like the way he slows down and turns and very threateningly looks at her and says, I'm not talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, there is a verbal threat.
Yep.
And it's menacing to me. And I'm sure that he wasn't physically threatening her in the moment, but I wonder about how he conducts himself behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
In his various marriages and even with Robin. I'm like, you're scary. There's parts of you that are scaring me.
100%.
Demon.
It's really freaking weird that production and Suki are like, I don't want to say that they're scared of him, but they just placate him a lot. And I'm like, why aren't we pressing him? Like, why are we even allowing him to say, I'm not going to answer that or not going to talk about that? If he wants to get up, offset, and leave and not get paid for 2 other tell-alls, let him fucking go. Because that'll show his character. I don't know why we have to like keep him on or like try and be nice and say thank you for your accountability when he gave absolutely none.
Like, honestly, where's the value added with Cody and Robin? Because they don't tell the truth. They just obstruct and obfuscate. Like they screw up the timeline. They confuse the audience because they're telling us that something didn't happen that we already watched happen. And so what are they actually adding to the story of Sister Wives at this point? Why couldn't we just get rid of them or have them be friends of, like they do on the Bravo shows and the Real Housewives? Robin can be a friend of no one. Cody can be a friend of, I don't know, is there a kid
Mary.
that's still who?
He
Be a friend of Mary's.
Mary's.
Yes, he can travel to Parowan every once in a while and we can see what's going on with Cody. But like they do not have to be major cast members in this show. Get rid of them.
I know, it's so weird. And I noticed his comment at the end where he's like, cut the cameras. And I'm like, are you just saying that to feel like you're a big man? Like you're the director, but you actually aren't. Like nobody's listening to you.
Well, they did. They cut the cameras. They do listen to him. And that's the question, why?
I don't know why they do, though.
Well, and you know that they do because they don't challenge him ever. And he is so puffed up with the power of that.
Yes.
He understands ain't nobody going to be pushing him around. He can get away with whatever. He can try and front with Suki like this.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to do anything about it. And so he does it. He doesn't have moral character.
No.
He doesn't have virtue, in my personal opinion, to talk to a woman like that and to stare at a woman like that, to lean forward. And he did it last year, too.
He did, yep.
And nobody talked to him last year when he did it?
No, I know.
He's comfortable to just do it again this year? Oh my God, give me 5 minutes with that small little man. Give me 5 minutes with that small little man.
You would beat his
I will
ass.
teach him a lesson. I will teach that man a lesson. I wouldn't be scared to do so. God, and I just feel it's on the tip of Suki's tongue.
Yeah.
Like she's a smart woman. I actually went on her Instagram today because I wanted to see if there was any new posts from her because she hadn't posted pretty much at all through the tell-alls.
Because she got so much hate.
Right. But there were a couple of clips from her interview with Sarah Fraser. And then there were people on the posts just kind of slamming her. Like, why didn't you ask her? Why didn't you ask them the questions? Why don't you know what you're talking about? And I just left her a message and said, hey, I think you did a good job. I know it must have been very difficult to have to finesse this interview, employ strategy just to get them to say anything. Like, you did a good job and thank you very much. Because I just feel like what a thankless job Suki has.
I mean, really though. And like, I'm of two minds with Suki. It's like, I get that you have to tread lightly with these narcissistic demons like Robin and Cody. I understand. And like, maybe she's held to a certain contract with production too. Like maybe they're like, you can't ask him certain things or you can't do these kinds of things. I get that it's difficult. It's just so fucking frustrating to watch it. And I just don't understand why production does this and like why we are being so kind to Cody and Robin. Like when everyone in the entire world hates them. Like every single, I don't think there's anybody that's like, you know what, I think Robin's a good person.
And yeah, and they're hateable.
Yeah.
Through their actions have they become hateable people.
Right.
It's not like we hate them in a vacuum. They've done terrible, despicable things
that we're not addressing
to their family. And we're just not able to talk about any of it. And if we do, they're just going to lie about it and we're not going to challenge them.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. Well, and it's like with Cody getting mad at Suki for asking him about his homosexuality. I'm like, you're the one that brought it up, dude.
Right.
I'm like, you're the one that talked about your college gay sex experience.
Right. And he gets so angry because he frames it as some sort of a trap. Like she was asking inappropriate questions and he was so kind to be generous and give her some information. But like she kept pressing it and he's really angry about it. I'm just like, get over yourself, dude.
Honestly.
You're the one who's mentioned before that you had a premarital relationship in college or whatever. Did he even go to college?
I don't know.
Did he go to college?
Maybe associates.
Okay, but whatever. But you're the one who already entered into evidence that bit of information.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why you're so upset about it.
I don't understand it. You're the one that brought up the story, but then you don't want people to ask you about it.
Maybe because if we dig a little deeper, maybe we can find out who it was that you actually had a premarital affair with. And what if it's a man?
It probably is.
What if it's a man?
It probably is.
Ooh, juicy.
I would love to know.
Good
Could
trash.
you imagine if there actually is a man out there that like fucked Cody Brown and he's just like sitting on that secret, just waiting for the perfect time to talk about it? I would love that.
Yeah.
I
would love it as well. And it would be
so
perfect
good.
karma for him.
100%.
Because I do believe that he never told Christine and Janelle about that premarital affair because it was an ego thing. Like he didn't want to bring shame upon himself or to show himself to Janelle and Christine as if he like didn't have the appropriate Mormon values.
Right.
So that's why he didn't do it.
Well, and it would make sense because Janelle and Christine were like pretty heavy in the faith. I mean, not that Mary
Janelle
wasn't.
was married before though.
Well, yeah. And like
she
Janelle
had gotten a deep dick in from Mary's brother.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Right. She probably would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting that he says this and he's like, oh, I didn't tell the other wives because they weren't safe. Because Christine talks about how she felt like that was a big betrayal, like just another one to add to the list because apparently after 27 years of marriage, like I was just not safe. Like I don't know what I did to not be safe. And it's just like, well, Cody didn't love you. Like that's just what it is. And
he didn't care.
He didn't care at all.
And he neglected you.
Yep. 100%.
By the time we meet you, Christine, in season 1, he's neglecting you and he's not caring about you at all. And maybe he was a great husband before, but we just never saw it. This is the only relationship we've ever seen.
Even then, I question how good he was because he was like the first guy she was ever really with. So she didn't have any other frame of reference. He probably was doing the absolute bare minimum and she thought it was fine.
Yep.
And it's sad. And then we get to the last clip of the episode, which is about the Sedona marriage retreat. And then Suki asks the dumb fucking question.
The dumbest question to ever
Will you
be
live
asked.
polygamy again?
No, first she asked Christine, are you happier now?
Oh, yeah, that, yeah.
Or were you happier then? In
Obviously
the season that you
now.
went to Sedona and had to get in your circle and tell everybody that you were completely disconnected from your husband and unloved truly. Like, are you happier now?
Obviously.
Yes, I'm happier now.
Yes.
I'm monogamous. I'm married to David. He breaks my back or blows my back out. He blows my back out. Sorry, I'm tired. He blows my back out. I'm financially independent. I have like 4 homes or whatever.
I get my box in.
I lost 40 pounds. I'm in great shape. And I'm loving my life. I got a titty tattoo. That's a dumb question, Suki.
So I'm just like, why are we even asking this? So stupid to like waste the last like 20 minutes of the episode. Like, are you happy? Will you live polygamy again? Janelle, are you open to polygamy? Mary, are you open to polygamy?
We've already asked these questions.
Robin, are you open to polygamy?
Right.
And it's like all the same answers that we've already said. Like Mary will never do it again because she's going to be monogamous.
Although she believes that polygamy can work in the right situation.
Yep. Janelle says she's kind of open to it, but then she looks at her monogamous, kids and their marriages and is like, oh, yeah, maybe I want that.
Yeah.
Maybe I want one man to give me a dick down.
Right.
And only that. And then Robin is like, well, I'll only do it if I get a crazy guarantee that it'll work and then I can siphon all of the money from my other sister wives and they will not complain about it and only if Cody's okay with it, but he's not okay with it.
And only if Sister Wives is canceled unless Cody considers getting another wife. Because if they give us an ultimatum, then we'll absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Or we'll end up on marriage boot camp.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
I would love it.
I would love that.
Do they still do that show?
I would actually watch that.
100%.
If it was Cody and Robin. Like,
we would recap it.
Oh, totally.
We would all be in the dumpster together.
That would be so good. And then Cody they talk about like if Cody and Robin ever break up, that they would never speak badly of each other because they have so much deep love for each other.
She would throw him under the bus in a hot minute.
I'm like, look what she did to her first husband. She would take all of your kids and leave. And honestly, I kind of want that to happen.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of want it to happen.
You would just sit there in Flagstaff in shock.
Oh my God.
Having lost everything,
Going
that big,
bankrupt.
ugly new mansion foreclosed upon.
Oh my God.
Robin
Homeless.
skipping out of town with some new AUB daddy. Who you got? You got nobody. We calling up Mary and Parawan. You dating anybody, Mary?
Be so awesome.
Yeah.
Mary would take him back in a heartbeat.
As of this filming of this tell-all, I kind of feel like she would.
Dude, if Robin left him and he had nobody else and no young girl wants to fuck that guy, he would totally go to Mary. And Mary would be like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this day. Am I worthy now?
Yeah.
And I don't want to like shit all over Mary, but like...
I do.
This
I'm
episode,
sick of her.
I'm just like, I'm so tired of her defending Cody and Robin.
She could have done it so much differently.
So annoying. She's like trying to like position herself as like, oh, I'm just like being nice and like I'm being the bigger person by not talking badly. It's like, but we want you to talk badly.
We need truth tellers.
God.
We need people to expose the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
We need you to be honest. It's very, very important that you are. But let's keep in mind, again, we say that this was filmed in October of last year. And I think we had 1 month of episodes that were out by that point.
Yeah.
So when Mary's filming this, she hasn't seen the entire season like the rest of us have seen.
Right.
So she doesn't see all the other things that Cody has said, to include calling Jen and her friends bitches and such, which made her very upset. So maybe that will be the impetus for us to get like a different Mary with a little bit of fire and truth telling for season 20, but I highly doubt it because she disappoints us season after season after season. And I think it's okay to call it out. Mary, you can do so much better, and you should.
100%. And the other layer to that is like maybe she just needs to get her back broken. Yeah,
maybe she needs to meet like a real man.
Yep.
A good man. Somebody who takes care of her, puts her first, and she can see what that life is really like. Because did she ever have that with Cody? Yes, they had young love. Maybe they were their first loves, but she's probably never had that kind of a relationship that so many of us have been able to enjoy. So I do think that would, in a moment, change her paradigm.
Oh, definitely. Because she says in this episode, it's been a very, 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 very long time since she's gotten a good deep dick in.
Yep.
And so I'm like, maybe you need that. Because maybe you'll see the light and you'll realize that simping over Cody Brown is not the look.
Not at all.
And I guess that's kind of how we end the episode with Suki thanking everybody for their time. And she really hopes that one day we could do it all on the same couch with everybody in the same room. And Cody's like, that's never going to happen because I'm the director. And then she thanks Cody for his vulnerability and his honesty and his accountability. And that shit pisses me off. Because I'm like, what honesty? What accountability? He hasn't been accountable for literally anything.
Literally. And name one thing that he was actually accountable for in this tell-all.
Like, I guess he admitted to actually loving Mary back in the day.
Oh, I guess so.
And he actually did love the other G3, but that's literally it. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when she asks them, would they do it all over again?
Right.
Would they do polygamy all over again?
Yeah.
And Cody says, no.
Yeah.
He says, no, even if I went back in time, I still wouldn't do it again.
That was wild because I thought when he was saying no, he was saying I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
Like I would never be a polygamist again because I've already failed at that. But like he did say that he wouldn't do it all over again, didn't he?
Yes. He said, I would not do it over again. And then he backtracks and he's like, but I mean, I'm grateful for my kids and the experience that I had, but like I still would never do it again. And then he literally calls it a waste of time. I'm like, okay. But everybody else is mean though, right? When you're talking about your 18 children and how that was a waste of time and how this family that you created with your sperm and everything was a waste of time and you wouldn't do it over again.
Well, he was just being reactive.
Yeah, right.
You can't blame him for that.
Reactionary abuse.
That's right.
Because he's a trauma victim.
That's right. I'm going to handle him with kid gloves.
Unbelievable.
Be very gentle with Cody Brown.
I'm so over this man.
I hate him.
And his goblin wife. I hate them.
I just hate, like, on our planet right now, just people getting away with so much horseshit.
I know.
Being like absolute bastards.
Yep.
And demons on the planet. And it's like unchecked. There's no accountability.
Nothing.
And I'm like, this is just metastasized in the form of Cody Brown just getting away with it and prospering, even though he's a wicked person.
I know.
And he's treated people deplorably. It's like David crying out to God, why, Father? Why do the wicked prosper? And yet here I am struggling in the wilderness. That's how I feel. Why does Cody and why do they get to prosper? I don't understand. But God is in charge of all that. Yep. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
And they don't deserve it. So it will come.
Yes, there's universal checks and balances in play at all times. So I'm just not going to be upset about it anymore. I'm going to take this summer off with the rest of you raccoons. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to worry about these people. You know, it's been 10 months that we've been doing this.
10
months.
In this season?
10 months. Didn't we start in September?
I think we did.
September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, bitch. June, bitch.
This is ridiculous.
10 months.
With a month-long hiatus in the middle of
Yeah.
that. This season was absolutely
crazy.
Way too long. If season 20 is another 30 episodes, I'm going to scream.
Yeah, I will be very upset.
I'm going to scream.
And it's not because we know it's going to be bad, and it is, because they're going to give us nothing, and we already know about Coyote Pass. Like, there's nothing new under the sun that you could give us, but it's because they will be enriched by 30 episodes worth of content.
And that's the thing. I wish we knew how much they got paid per episode, because I'm just like really waiting for their inevitable foreclosure and their inevitable bankruptcy. Wow. Because these two jobless losers are just using sister wives to pay for their mortgage.
Yes, after they, in my opinion, stole all the money out of the family LLC. And stole away with it so they could have all their tacky assets.
And I'm sorry, I love the OG3, but like, these OG3 are not suing him for every fucking penny that he stole from them. No. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's not right. And then we have Christine, though, who does currently have an active lawsuit, and she will get access to those financial records. I would imagine her attorney is going to have to figure out how much Cody's making every year, and then she's going to be able to figure out her child support from that. But I don't think we're going to be privy to that information.
Probably not.
I wish we could be.
I wish.
Yeah. So this is it.
This is it.
This is the end, my friend.
The finale. We made it.
Sister Wives. Wow.
God.
Put me out of my misery, dude.
I know. Stick a fork in me, man.
I'm so over it. Woo. But you know what? I've enjoyed recapping it with you.
Me too.
I've enjoyed meeting with y'all every week. And talking about the Sister Wives. And believe me when I say we're going to continue our conversation on Sister Wives. We're going to pick up in season 6 of Sister Wives to do our rewinds, not next week, but we'll start it the week after that. And we will continue to have our conversations about what we're going to be watching this summer, because there are some options. People did write in with their opinions.
With a lot of them. So
a lot of opinions. And so we're considering all of that. But right now, like you, we just need a break from this horseshit.
Take a nap.
That's absolutely right. In a coffin.
Yeah.
Take a nap in a coffin. Well, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. Really helps us grow the pod so more people can join us in the dumpster. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
We will not be back next week with any content unless you are on Patreon. We are doing a Valley Drop this Friday. We're doing a Valley Drop next week as well.
Oh my God.
So definitely join us there and to keep the party going. We'll be back the week after that to continue the Sister Wives conversation. But until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.